Hello, 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 hello. Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's doing okay. For today, I'll be taking over and helping out for my wife, the chosen one by Ashley. For those of y'all that don't know me, I know y'all probably don't, but I am conscious. For those of y'all that do know me, it's been a while since y'all seen me, but hello again. I'm conscious. And today, basically, what I'm going to talk about today is I'm going to talk about obstacles. And the reason why I chose to talk about obstacles today is because I know that just recently I faced some obstacles myself that made me really want to sit there and sit here with y'all and share my testimony because I feel like my testimony can help somebody to overcome their obstacles. Now, I want to read a scripture before I get started, if that's okay with y'all who are on here so far. We're going to go with Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans for welfare and not for evil, to give you a future and to also give you a hope. Deuteronomy chapter 31, verse 6 says, be strong and courageous. Do not fear or be in dread of them, for it is the Lord your God who goes with you. Those are two scriptures that I wanted to share, that I read, that I wrote down, that basically touched me and gave me some motivation. And I hope that by me reading that scripture to y'all, it helps to motivate y'all as I speak to y'all through this session that I'm doing with y'all today. So, just recently, for those of y'all that don't know, I was in the hospital again. I was recently re-hospitalized because, for those of y'all that don't know, about a year ago, I had a heart and lung transplant surgery, and I've had plenty before that, but the last time I had my surgery last year was the worst one and the hardest one that I went through. That was the hardest recovery I had to go through. I wasn't even supposed to make it when I had that surgery, right? But I overcame that. But just recently, I ran into another issue, and the issue was I had to get a kidney surgery. I had to get surgery to get kidney stones removed. I found I had a whole bunch of I had a whole bunch of kidney stones sitting in my kidney, and I didn't even know that. I started having issues, every now and then I had back pains and stuff. I thought it might be just me, because sometimes I lift stuff. I thought when my breathing was normal, I was taking my medicine. So I'm going to the doctor, they tell me everything okay, right? But to come and find out, I had kidney stones, so I had to have surgery. So they removed the kidney stones the first time. They took those out, and when they took the kidney stones out, they told me that from there on out, I wouldn't have no more issues at all. They told me that I'd be fine, but I thought that too. I had to go through the recovery process. It took about a week and a half to 2 weeks for me to recover from that first one. And then I ran into another problem. I started having the same problems again, a little bit of bleeding here and there. Um, and I went back into the hospital. When I went back into the hospital, they told me that they only took out one kidney stone, but I had a whole bunch of them still in here. So they said they had to do another surgery. And I said, okay, well, if you're going to do another surgery, then make sure that you remove all of the kidney stones. So I talked to God. I sat down and I just prayed to God and I said, God, you done took me through a whole lot lately. You done kept me here. I done been through everything. I done overcame so much. And yet here we are again, facing the same situation again with this kidney situation. I'm like, God, please, just make sure that you touch the doctors, and please make sure that you help them to remove the kidney stones the proper way, so I don't have to keep going through this repetitive process. Because the thing about it is, you know, I might have gone through my surgeries and everything, but I'm still not out the woods yet. I'm still, fighting for my life. Every day that goes by that my wife and I have, we cherish, we share that time together, we enjoy the time we had together because we know that I'm still every day fighting for my life. But through God, He keeps me here. So basically I went in and I got that second surgery and I had to go through that recovery process again. But afterwards, I found out that they removed all the kidney stones, y'all. They removed all the kidney stones. So basically what I'm trying to tell y'all is, based on my short testimony I just gave y'all about that, is I did not give up hope just because of the simple fact that that situation alone, they didn't do what was supposed to be done, or because of the fact that it was a bad situation going on. I trusted in God to get me through, and I still fought hard. And today, right now, as we speak, when it comes down to my health, like my organs that's in my chest, I'm still fighting. But God keeps me here. I feel like as long as I trust in God, I can get through anything. I've been through a lot in my life. For those of y'all that don't know, I was in the streets at one point, you know what I'm saying? I lived that life. I did things at that time, but I survived. I overcame that obstacle. I went through countless surgeries. I've had 5 surgeries. The 5th surgery I had, just like I told y'all, was my heart and lung transplant. And then afterwards, I had that situation happen only for me to have to go through a battle with my own kidneys. My kidneys shutting down, dealing with kidney stones, going through that. But I overcame that. So what I'm trying to tell y'all is that in the end, as long as you keep faith in God, God give you strength. You can overcome obstacles. See, here's the thing. See, we go through life, right? Every day. We go through life every single day. And the days that we go through life, we tend to just walk the best we can because that's what we know how to do. We've always been known to just walk through life because that's a part of growing. You have to walk through life. But the problem is that when we walking through life, we tend to sit there and go through something. It don't matter what we're going through. It can be depression. It can be something at your job. It can be with family. It can be something that deals with income. It can deal with any type of situation. We go through these situations, and when we go through them, we try to overcome them on our own. We try hard to battle it out, right? We try to fight through it. We try to get through it. But while we're trying to get through it, it gets tougher and tougher because some situations just are not easy to overcome. But as soon as the situation gets tough, we're quick to say, I give up. I don't think I can do this. I don't feel like my day is gonna get any better. I don't feel like anything's gonna come from this. I don't feel like I'm gonna beat this situation. We just quick to fall. We just quick to put our hands in our head. And that's what the problem is. See, the thing about it is, you gotta realize that you are stronger than you believe. You have to put your faith in the man upstairs. God can help you to get through anything. God really can. I'm telling y'all, as a man, look, my thing is I changed my life, okay? I'm still working on becoming a better person myself. Every day that I go through, I'm working on becoming a better person. But one thing that I never do lose as I'm trying to become a better person is my faith in God. Because if I didn't have my faith in God, I wouldn't have made it as far as I have. You have to put your faith in God and trust in Him to see you through. Because as long as God is walking with you, you can overcome any obstacle. You have to know also within yourself. See, God can't fight just the battle alone. You have to do your part too. You have to know that within yourself, you are more stronger than what you give yourself credit for. I'm going to tell y'all again. You are more stronger than what you give yourself credit for. You sitting there and thinking that you cannot overcome this problem. You can't beat this problem. You can't deal with this issue or handle it. It might be too much, or you got to resort back to your old ways, or you got to resort to doing this. But you are way more stronger than what you give yourself credit for because you can overcome that situation. You can do better. It's about you having faith and trying to move forward. If someone's an obstacle get in your way, you have to be willing to push. But while you're pushing and you're going through it and you're going through it and you're doing this, you have to be willing to talk to God. As long as you're talking to God, God is going to tell you what to do while you're pushing. And if he isn't telling you what to do, He's going to make a way so that you can break through. You might be trying to push through. Who knows? You might be trying to push down a wall. You might be trying to push down a barrier. Who knows? You might even be trying to climb over a wall, but you don't have the ladder to do it. But you know what? God can give you that ladder. If you put your trust in Him, God can give you that ladder. This is the thing. I've been through a lot of my life, right? And growing up where I grew up in my city. And growing up in my city, there's so many statistics about the men and women growing up in my city. Growing up in my city, as a man growing up in my city, you expected to be dead or in jail before you even 20. You'd be lucky if you see 25. Some people lucky if they even see it to make it to 15. Females growing up in my city, females, are told that they'll be pregnant and have about 4 or 5 kids before they even 20. You know what I'm saying? Me, I overcame that. I beat them obstacles. I'm in my 30s now. I lived. I didn't just become another statistic. Growing up, I didn't tell myself, like, growing up, I lived my life. I went through some things and I did some things that I shouldn't have did, but I never let my environment be define who I was. I always told myself, this is not it for me. This is not the pit stop for me. I'm not going to stop right here. Yeah, it's hard growing up here. People die every day. People go through this every day. Yes, it's hard because my mom barely getting by. We struggling. The lights get cut off sometimes. Sometimes they're on. Yeah, it's hard because the water hot sometimes. It's cold sometimes. I did not allow that to define me and say that this is going to be my future. Yeah, I knew growing up where I grew up at that it's possible I could be dead or in jail before I was 20. But I never sat there and told myself that's gonna be my final destination. I knew it was always a possibility, but I said, you know what, I'm gonna do the best I can to beat the odds. And yeah, I'm like I said, I'm not perfect. I did some things out here. I was out here hustling, I got in trouble. I was out here fighting and doing other things that I cannot speak on. I'm not gonna incriminate myself, but I've done a lot of bad things that I'm not proud of and I regret. But the thing about it is, though, this is the thing. When as while I was walking through and I was doing these things, I know I was doing wrong. So I had to ask God for forgiveness. I didn't want to do wrong. This is the environment I was in. This is what I was trapped in. Even if you went growing up where I grew up at, if I tried to stay out of trouble, trouble will find me. That's the type of neighborhood that I grew up in. You didn't have to be a part of what's going on. It could find you. See, I was involved in things though. But what I'm trying to tell you is even people who weren't involved in things got caught up because of the neighborhood that we lived in. You see what I'm saying? But my thing was, when I was doing these things, I had a high faith in God because my family, let me tell you something about my mother. My mother always made sure we went to church. We went to church on Sundays. If we didn't go to church, there was like these little programs for like teenagers and stuff like that. My mother would make sure that we go to the programs after school and all that stuff, stay in church. So I grew up in the church. If I didn't go to church because of my mother, my grandma would take me to church. So I grew up in church. So I had faith in God, okay? So even when I started getting a little more active, got older, started getting into all these more and more bad things, and darkness started to come on me, I never fully allowed the darkness to be my cloud. Even though the devil might have felt like he was getting a hold of me sometimes, I still made sure that I stayed close to God. Even though I knew what I was doing was wrong, I still asked God for forgiveness. And God always used to tell me when I was doing these things that I have a better plan for you. He told me that. He would always say, I had a better plan for you. But see, this is the thing. When you live in that life and you so caught up and you so blinded by the money, you blinded by this, you start to lose track. See, that's the thing. I was getting off track a little bit, but God would tell me that I got a plan for you. You just got to slow down. And I told God one time, I was like, I'll slow down when I'm ready, right? But God still had his hands on me. Like I said, I did not allow my environment to be my final destination. I always wanted better, and God made sure that I saw better in the long run. He helped me to overcome that obstacle. He helped me to be in a better situation. He didn't allow me to die or go to jail at the age of 20. He didn't allow me to die or go to jail at 20 something going into my 30s. I'm now in my 30s. I no longer have to live that life. I'm no longer living that life. I've overcome the obstacles. I beat the odds. Though the people told me one point in time I would be dead or in jail at a young age. People told me one point in time I wouldn't make it. I couldn't be nobody. But God said otherwise. And because of what God said, I'm able to be here with y'all right now talking to y'all on this live. I'm able to be here right now to have a wife that loves me. Because today is our 6-month anniversary. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thankful for the things that God has done for me. So what I'm trying to tell y'all is, it don't matter what you're going through. I don't care how much bad you've done. It don't matter if you've done bad and if you've done good. If you've done bad, it's not too late to overcome that. and do better. It's not too late to do good. You have to trust in God and trust in Him to get you on track. You have to know that even when you do bad, it's okay to try to do better. Don't look at it like, oh, God won't listen to me. I can't talk to God. God not going to hear me out because I've done so much wrong. There's no way He'll forgive me because God is a loving God. God will forgive you. That's the thing about God. God gives you the power of free will. God gives you power, free will to be who you want to be. But He's also a loving and forgiving God because God knows you better than you know yourself. You have to understand that you got to build a relationship with God. You have to be willing to trust Him. It doesn't work if you don't trust each other. You have to trust God just like God trusts you. You have to love God just like He loves you. It's a hand-in-hand thing. Let's see here. Got a couple comments on here. Brooke Deb 1970 said, prayer, heart prayer. Thank you. Keeping up with Ketra. God is merciful. Yes, God is very merciful. Mimi Mega Life said, great testimony, my brother in Christ. Thank you very much, Mimi Mega Life. We got, oh yeah, my wife is on here commenting as well. Hey, but like I said, you have to be willing to know that God is going to have your back through anything. That's the thing, we tend to go through life, and like I said, when we face all these obstacles and we just give up, we allow, depression, anger, sadness, all these negative things and all these negative thoughts to cloud our minds. We allow it to swallow us. You cannot allow the enemy to take control of who you are. You have to be bigger than the enemy. See, when you go through battles, you be trying to fight on your own, and you be thinking that you fighting the right thing, but you're fighting the wrong thing. You're not fighting the enemy. You have to be willing to fight the enemy. You cannot allow the bad things to take control of your mind, because if it takes control of your mind, it makes you take a back seat, and instead of you pedaling forward, you find yourself pedaling backwards. If you wonder why a lot of times in life, you might have a decent job or you might have this going for yourself, but you're always stuck in this one spot and you can't get ahead, you be wondering why you can't. Because you're allowing certain obstacles, certain situations, certain things that you got going on to overpower you. You're allowing it to swallow you. You're allowing it to hold you back from being able to go forward. As I told y'all before, I went through something that could have killed me at the last moment. Them kidney stones was so bad. I had so many of them. The doctor told me if I didn't come in when I did, I could have died. You see what I'm saying? That was an obstacle that I faced, especially knowing I had to get a second kidney stone removal surgery because they messed up. I didn't mess up. I showed up and did what I was supposed to do. The doctors messed up because they didn't remove all the stones that they were supposed to, but I did not allow that to define me. I didn't beat myself up and say, oh, I don't know if I'm going to live or not. I don't know if this situation going to get any better or not, because I got to go through this again. Why do I have to go through this again? How do I know? I didn't do none of that. I stood strong. I fought through it. I trusted God and I got through it and overcame that. So it's the same thing with you. You have to be willing to fight back, even when it seems like things are not working out in your favor. Because again, if you don't, that is the enemy. That is the devil. That is demons. They want you to stay stuck. The devil don't want you to get ahead. Nobody wants you to get ahead in life. The thing about it is, you got so many, little do you know it, you got so many people out here who don't want to see you do good. There's so many people who at one point in time, when you were moving forward in life, they had already written out in their mind that you were going to fail. They had already said, I don't like that person. I don't even think they're going to be nobody. Or what they think they better than me. There's so many people who probably talking about you right now, saying that you're nobody. You don't got this. You don't got that. Or you probably done told somebody that you're going to be somebody. You done pitched out your dreams. You done said what you wanted to do. Probably showed a whole layout. And they said, oh, everybody wants to do that. Or, oh, you ain't no way you're going to get ahead. We're going to get the money. Do this. Basically trying to get in the way of what you want to do. But do not listen to that. Do not sit there and allow them to swallow you. Know that you are bigger than what that person gives you credit for. Don't worry about the negative things that person telling you. Don't worry about it. They're telling you, oh, you're not going to be this. Don't worry about it. They're going to tell you, oh, you're not going to be that. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure back in the day when you had David and Goliath, David and Goliath, we already know the story. Goliath was the giant. He was the big guy, right? And David was a little was small. You know what I'm saying? They didn't think that David could beat Goliath. Didn't nobody expect that to happen. But David trusted God. And he hit Goliath with a stone from his pouch like this. Boom, slingshot, hit him, and destroyed Goliath. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Obstacles, they come and they go. But the question is, when you got the obstacle in front of you, what are you going to do? Are you going to stay stuck? Are you going to allow that obstacle to get in the way of you going forward? Or are you going to find a way through the obstacle or around the obstacle? And the best thing for you to do, if you want my opinion, is get around the obstacle, go through it. Don't stay stuck. Don't allow nothing to get in the way of doing what you want to do. Don't allow nothing to get in the way of being who you want to be. I've seen, growing up, the thing about it is, it's important to make sure that as you're walking through life, it's important to hold on to what you call hope. I think that hope is also important. Hope is a very, very, very big part of who we are. A lot of people need to understand that they should clutch on the hope more often. Like growing up, I've seen a lot of people lose hope for so many reasons. People have lost hope because of the fact that they watched other people die around them. I've seen people lose hope because they lost people to drugs. I've seen people lose hope because of the simple fact that they couldn't get a job. I've seen people lose hope for so many different reasons. I've seen girls who could have been somebody that had all the things going for themselves, you know what I'm saying, end up falling victim to their environment because of the simple fact that all of their friends turned out a certain way, so they thought they were going to be a certain way, so they allowed that to be their circumstance. They lost hope because everybody around them turned out to be this way, so they felt like they was going to be that way. I've seen I've seen dudes do the same thing when it come down to drugs. I've seen dudes do the same thing when it come down the streets. I've seen dudes do the same thing when it come down to people they love, being married, allowing, things that they go through and they merge to destroy them. Instead of them holding on to hope and trusting that their marriage is going to get better and trying to work the problems out, they just like, oh, things ain't going good, so I know it's just not going to work out. They quick to run or they end up messing up their marriage. And then later on, they don't even know who they are anymore because they lost the person that they care about. Holding on to hope is very important. It don't matter what you're going through. You have to have hope that days are going to get better. You have to have hope that you're going to overcome. Just like it said, just like in the song, it says, we shall overcome. You shall overcome. You are better. You can be better. Look, just because you're growing up right now in a studio apartment, you might not have a bedroom in your apartment. You might just have right there on the floor. You might have right there the shower. You might have the stove. You might have the refrigerator right here, and then you might have your air bed right there. You might feel like, man, like I want a bigger place, and you might have this going on and that. But guess what? That studio apartment does not mean that's going to be your final destination. That does not mean that you are not going to get into that 2-bedroom apartment you want. That does not mean that you're not going to get that raise at work. You might be going through something else. You might be trying to you might be trying to do better at your job, and it might be somebody else that they gave the position to, but because they gave that position to that person doesn't mean they qualify for that. That doesn't mean that you won't get that job. You got to hold on to hope and keep on praying and keep on working hard towards your goal, because that position could be yours, because that person might not qualify for that position. It's crazy because in this world right now, the crazy thing about this world right now is this world is so twisted. It's like they don't even care about what you know. It's more so about who you know. But guess what? That doesn't when it come down to getting anything, they don't have the definition to say where you're gonna get and who and how you're gonna get there. Only God can define that. Only God can determine where you're gonna end up at. They don't have the power to tell you don't deserve the position. They don't have the power to tell you you're never gonna get there. Just like if you were in that studio apartment, then can't nobody tell you that you're gonna stay there forever. Only God can determine that. You can overcome anything. You have to hold on to hope. It don't matter what you got going on around you. Never allow your circumstances to define your future. Don't sit there and get lost in the circumstance you got going on around you. It don't matter what it is. Don't be feeling like, oh, because this is going on, I'm not going to be nobody. Oh, because this is going on, I'm not going to get nowhere. Oh, this person said this about me. Oh, this person said that about me. That is not your future. That does not mean that you're not going to go ahead. You have to believe in the fact that you can be somebody. Keep working towards what you want to do in life. Keep working towards trying to be who you want to be. Don't allow yourself to get stuck. That's the problem with a lot of us these days. We stay stuck. You just stuck in one spot. It's almost like, basically, I'm just looking at some people. I'm just looking at some people's life. I'm not judging because I've been there. You know what I'm saying? I'm not judging nobody. I'm not here to judge. But I will tell you that some of y'all right now are living your life in what I'm going to define on this live right now. I'm going to define it as quicksand. Some of y'all are standing in a quicksand. Y'all just study sanity. You can't get out of quicksand. Y'all know how quicksand go. It swallows you so fast. It's hard for you to get out. You can't really get out of quicksand. It's almost impossible. Y'all are standing in quicksand and it's just swallowing you down because you're too busy staying stuck. Some of y'all lose hope to the point that you don't even want to work and try to overcome anything. You don't even want to do better no more. You don't even want to try to even make an attempt. You get to a point where you're just okay with just drowning in the quicksand. And once you get in the quicksand and it pulls you under, you go under and you stay there. See, what people don't realize is there's more to life than partying. There's more to life than trying to be like everybody else. There's more to life than trying to do what you see on TV. There's more to life than thinking that you're bigger than the next person. You got to understand, if you want to be somebody, it says it in the Bible that God has a purpose, right? You got to understand, from the moment that you're put on this earth, you have a purpose. I'm going to tell y'all again. From the moment you're put on this earth, you have a purpose. You got to understand. Let me tell y'all why. Follow me now. Don't leave me. Follow me now. The reason why I say that you have a purpose is because you have to understand that you made it into this world. There's a lot of times when there's a possibility that there's twins that come into the world, triplets and all kind of stuff, but sometimes it's only one person who makes it into this world that gets carried for 9 months and comes out. You were the one who came out after 9 months. You got to live your life. That means that God has a purpose for you. You have a calling. You just got to understand what your purpose is. It says it in the Bible that if you want to accomplish something, if you are determined to do something, it says it in the Bible that you're supposed to be willing to do something that is bigger than yourself. You're not supposed to want to do things and try to accomplish things for your own selfish needs, such as money, such as fame, such as all those other things. You're supposed to do something out of love for people, out of love for God, out of wanting to help others. You're supposed to you're supposed to want your purpose to serve something that is bigger than yourself. As long as your purpose is bigger than yourself, then God will make sure that your purpose gets to where it needs to be. A lot of people get cut short. A lot of people get cut short in life, you know. It's so many people who had so many talents but never even got to see it go to where it was supposed to go because they did not focus on their purpose. They gave up. They did not hold on hope. A lot of people die young. It's so many these days in this generation. You got to understand, in this generation right now, life is short. Tomorrow is not promised to nobody. Your time can be up at any second. You could be here today and your eyes can close tomorrow. A lot of people have not gotten to accomplish their purpose on the earth. Their life was cut short at a young age. So many people life got cut short because they did not focus on a purpose. They got sidetracked in life. They got sidetracked to the point that they got stuck in what I told y'all about a little while ago, in the quicksand. And the quicksand swallowed them. It swallowed them so hard that life got so hard to the point that they never got anywhere or tried to go anywhere, and it destroyed them. Don't allow your life to get destroyed by you staying in one spot. Live your life now. Do what you're put here to do. If you want to accomplish something, know that you can accomplish that goal. I don't care how hard it is. I don't care if you're trying to go onto the bank right now and get a loan and you got denied. Keep trying to get a loan. Whatever you're trying to do right now in life, you have to know that you need to keep at it. Do not allow somebody telling you no to stop you from going forward. Do not allow somebody telling you that you won't accomplish something to stop you from going forward. Do not allow you trying to do something and then not working out the way you thought it would the first time or the second time stop you from going forward. Keep going forward. Understand that you can accomplish your goals. Stop allowing situations that you go through in life to make you stop. Life is hard. Nothing about life is easy. None of our lives were easy. If life was easy, everybody would have a great life, or everybody would be where they want to be right now if life was easy. No, life is hard. But your life could be better if you work to get to where you want to be. You have to be willing to put in the work to get there. You can't sit there and blame other people. A lot of people, that's another problem I want to speak on to y'all right now. Stop blaming others for your problems. You have to stop blaming the next person for your problem. Oh, I would have been doing better if this person didn't mess it up. If they would have did what I did with that when I gave them that money, I wouldn't be going through No, at the end of the day, so what? They messed up the money, but that shouldn't stop you from trying to accomplish what you was going to accomplish. You should still go ahead and try to save up some more money so you can go ahead and make it happen. Or you blaming the next person because you like, oh, this person did this to me. Oh, this happened. Or that happened. Oh, I went through this or I went through that. My life wouldn't be like this if it wasn't for that person. This person ain't do this or that person. No, stop blaming the next person. Stop blaming all these other people for your own problems. You have to learn how to forgive people because, again, forgiveness is another big part of life. If you do not forgive the people who hurt you, they're forever going to have power over you. They're forever going to be able to control you no matter how old you get. It doesn't matter how far in life you go. The people still going to have a hold on you. It's going to be kind of like they playing with a puppet. It's going to be like a puppeteer. They're controlling you like this while you just tap dancing like this. And you're just moving the way that they want you to move. You have to be willing to forgive in order to go forward in life. Because if you can forgive that person or something that they did to you, you're able to let go of the hurt that held you back. You're able to take back your power and be strong. You're able to get back the strength that you need. If you feel like you cannot forgive a person, if you don't know how to forgive a person, then pray to God. Trust God. Ask God to give you the willingness to forgive. Ask God to help you. And God will help you. But don't sit around and keep blaming the next person for your problems, man. You gotta be bigger. This is what I'm trying to tell y'all. Everything that I'm saying to y'all and I've been saying to y'all on this live for the last 33 minutes from the moment I told my testimony that recently happened from the beginning all the way up to where we at right now. Everything I'm saying to y'all, I'm trying to tell y'all has to do with obstacles. Everything I'm saying is about overcoming obstacles. The reason that I'm telling y'all these things is because I feel like a lot of y'all are stuck in a quicksand and y'all could be overcoming that. Y'all could be doing better. Y'all deserve better. I'm not here to judge nobody at all. I will never judge because, like I said, I've been in a quicksand myself. But the difference between me and where y'all at right now is when I was in the quicksand, I didn't have nobody to guide me. I had to walk through that myself. All I had was God. That's it. All I had was me and God. I didn't have nobody to sit there and talk and try to give me advice or try to help me through it. But I'm here to help y'all right now. Trust in God. Trust in yourself. Don't allow anybody to have power over you. Don't allow your past to have power over you. Don't let your circumstances that you're in right now, whether you live in the hood, whether you going through a struggle at your job, whether you having money troubles, whether you having issues in your relationship, don't let your circumstances right now that you're dealing with define exactly how your future is going to turn out. It don't matter how many obstacles you go through. Understand that you're bigger than those obstacles. Understand that you can overcome those obstacles. It's up to you to do it. You have to be willing to do it. You have to trust in yourself and know that you can do it. Know that you're bigger and better than what people say that you are. Know that you're going to be bigger and better in the end. Put in the work. Let me tell y'all something, man. I remember, right? You know, I'm gonna give y'all another little short testimony about something, obstacle I faced. Due to the fact that today is, of course, my wife and I 6 month anniversary. We made it to 6 months, even and 9 months together. I mean, I said 9 years together, off and on. But we've been married for 6 months. So since today is my wife and I's 6 month anniversary, I want to use a part of our relationship as a testimony today that inquires about beating the odds. So what I want to tell y'all is, look, I remember at one point in time when I was going through things, right, growing up, and when I was in relationships, I was always taught to respect women, be a good man, treat them right, respect their feelings, right? And as I got older and started getting into serious relationships, I did all those things, right? But even though I was doing all these things and I was treating women good, I could never get treated right back. Women took advantage of that. They thought, they played me. I got cheated on. I got lied to. I got disrespected. I got called soft, because of the fact that in their eyes, I wasn't a good man because I wasn't quick to rough them up and throw them up against the wall, or I wasn't quick to call them out their name and be disrespectful because I was raised by women. I was taught by my aunts and by my mother to respect women, So as I started going through things like that, I got to a point where I started to sink, right? And I started to get into what you call the quicksand. This is what I'm talking about. This has to do with obstacles. Y'all follow me. I started getting into the quicksand. So when I got into the quicksand, I started getting to a point where I was like, you know what? I ain't gonna never meet nobody that love me for me. These women think I'm just a joke, and I ain't gonna love just don't exist. It ain't, it ain't never gonna find me. I'm just gonna continue to get played with. I'm not gonna never have a woman who respect me, listen to me, and want to grow with me. I stayed stuck in the quicksand, so I became what you call a player. I started playing around with women's feelings. I wasn't taking relationships serious. I didn't want to be committed to one woman until I met my wife. When I met my wife at the right time, because when I met my wife, while I was going through this time, I was still praying to God, but I was sinking. But when I met my wife, she pulled me out of the quicksand. She gave me her arms. She extended her arms to me, and she pulled me out of the quicksand. She told me, she said, I'm gonna be here no matter what. She grew with me. She respected me. She trusted me. You know what I'm saying? She showed me how to focus more on God instead of focusing more on the negativity that I was doing. She helped me to become a better man. At that time, I really needed that. But she was able to pull me out of the quicksand. This is what I'm trying to tell you. You can overcome obstacles as long as you trust God. I was in the quicksand. I was sinking, y'all, in life. I didn't believe and I was going to find happiness. I didn't believe I was going to meet nobody for me. I was praying to God, but I did not believe that I was going to find anybody who would love me for me. I said, forget it. I was just out here wilding. You know what I'm saying? But at the right time, God brought me my wife. I didn't know right then and there that she was going to be my wife, but God brought somebody into my life that loved me, appreciated me, showed me all the things that those women wouldn't, and helped me to understand that I could still be myself and still be happy. I overcame the obstacles. I beat the odds. And now today, I am married. I've been with my wife now, like I said. We've been together 9 years, off and on. This is 9 years, 2024. We have a 7-year-old son. I've also been married, but I've been married to her now, today, for 6 months. And that's all thanks to God that I met my partner. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. If you're going, no matter what obstacles you go through, trust in God to get you through. If you pray and you talk to God, you let him know your situation, God will walk with you through the storm. It don't matter if it's thundering. I don't care if you hear boom, 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 boom. I don't care if no matter how hard it's thundering. I don't care how bad the lightning is. I don't care how hard it's raining. It can rain so much to the point that it seems like it's going to flood. But God will give you the umbrella that you need over your head. You have to be willing to trust in God, though. If you trust in God, God's going to give you the umbrella. He's going to make sure that you don't get wet. It don't matter how bad your storm is. God want to make sure that you can walk through it with your umbrella. You have to be willing to trust in God, though. A lot of y'all so stuck on how do I do this, or how do I do that, or how do I know that God going to hit me and stuff like that. A lot of y'all ask all these crazy questions. You don't know if you don't try. A lot of y'all make excuses for why y'all can't have a relationship with God. A lot of y'all, some of y'all don't even, y'all make excuses for why y'all can't pray. Why you can't pray? You can talk to your friends on the phone for 20, 30 minutes. You can go and talk about sports, or you can talk about girl things and all that stuff, but you can't pray to God for 2 minutes. You can go and read all these urban fiction books, and you can read all these biographies and do all this stuff, but you can't open up a Bible. Like, a lot of people make excuses for why they cannot have a relationship with God. See, that's the thing. You have to be willing to start. Having a relationship with God is a hand-in-hand thing. You have to be willing to work together. But it has to start with you. It has to be something that you have to be willing to do. If you don't open up your heart to God, then you're not going to get nowhere. You have to start with God. But you take your time. Take your time. Growing a relationship with God, it takes time. I'm still taking my time right now. And I've been on the right track for a while now, almost a year, and I'm still working to become better. Every day is about becoming better. It's about taking your time and taking another step. As long as you keep on trying, you're going to keep on climbing. But don't stay stuck, though. Don't stay stuck. I want to read this scripture again to some of y'all again. I want to read it one more time. The ones that I pulled up. I want to read it to y'all one more time. The one I read at the beginning. That inspired me. Listen, it's Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans for welfare and not for evil, to give you a future and to give you hope. In Deuteronomy chapter 31, verse 6, it says, be strong and courageous. Do not fear or be in dread of them, for it is the Lord your God who goes with you. It's the Lord your God who goes with you. So basically what it's saying is, it doesn't matter what you're going through. God is not going to allow you to struggle. He's going to always have something better for you in the end. You have to be willing to trust in him and be strong. And if you don't have the strength, ask God to give you the strength that you need to do better and to be better. Don't stay stuck. Don't never stay. And the problem with another problem, and see, here's the thing. Because your life ain't going the way that you wanted to go, a lot of people question God. They question God. God, why you allowing me to go through this? God, why you allowing me to go through that? God, why is my life like this? God, why my life couldn't be like that? You know, y'all so worried about what y'all see somebody else doing, but you don't know how somebody else's life is. You don't never know what's the story behind that person. You don't never know what's the story behind what they're going through. You only know what you see. You want to base your life off of everything else. You see these celebrities, you see them on TV taking these vacations, doing this, doing that, performing, doing this, doing that. These celebrities making money, acting, doing this, doing that. Y'all see all these things on TV, and you be wanting to have a life like them. But it says in the Bible, always put me first. Y'all be wanting to follow behind them, but those are false prophets. You're not supposed to want to follow behind nobody but God. It says it in the Bible. You're only supposed to follow behind God. It says, put no false prophets before me. It says it in the scripture. But some of y'all are too busy talking about that's my favorite celebrity, this my favorite, this. Y'all too busy glorifying, glamoring all these celebrities and everything that they're doing. That's false prophecy. That's following false prophets. I don't care what you got going on. I don't care what your background is. I don't care what your story is. You got to understand that there is always something better for you in the end. But the only way you can know where your story is going to go, the only way that your story can be better is if you put your trust in God. You can start off back here. You can have somebody that's way up here compared to you. They can be way up here and you can be right here, right now. And you're trying to get up here, but this person's up here. I'm not saying that you're worried about that person. I'm just giving y'all an example. A person could be up here, you could be right here. Their life could seem like it's soaring before yours. But guess what? That doesn't mean that you're not going to soar up higher than them. Because when you put your faith in God at the right time, God's going to make sure that you can rise up here. God doesn't do things when you want him to do it. I've said this to y'all before. God doesn't do things when you want him to do it. God does things when you need it. He does it when you need it. Nobody knows you better than God knows you. God made you. God is the ruler. He's the king. He's the healer. He's the creator. God knows you better than you know yourself. So if you're wondering why God ain't give you something, you sitting there and you thinking about why, it's because God ain't ready for you to have it. God is not ready for you to have it. But at the right time when it is needed, at the right time when he wants you to have it, God is going to bless you with all the things that you ask for. But the problem with y'all is a lot of y'all are too impatient. A lot of y'all are too impatient. A lot of y'all, the word I was about to say when I said P is pissed off. A lot of y'all are too pissed off. The thing about it is you don't have enough patience in God to sit there when you ask for something in a prayer and be patient and get it and receive it. A lot of y'all just want it to happen like this. Y'all want God to just throw it at you. You want to be able to say, God, I want a house right now. And you want to see the house just fall out the air. You know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all be like, God, I need money and I'm going through this. So y'all want all of a sudden your bank account to say $200,000 overnight. A lot of y'all be wanting this to happen, all these other things to happen, but it don't happen. And all of a sudden, you lose faith in God. You start to lose hope. You start to be like not knowing which way to go. But that's the wrong way to look at it. Because how you know that God didn't give you that money out of your bank and put it in your bank account, that $200,000? How you know he ain't give it to you right away? Because of the simple fact that he knew that you was going to spend it up crazily on something crazy that'll make you not have money. God might have said, you know what, not now. But as soon as he give it to you, and you get it, when you get that money, all of a sudden, you done spent it on the right things, and now you're set for life. Or, like I said, you want a house. God might not have given you that house right away. You know why? You probably didn't get that house right away because it might not have been a good house for you to move into. It might not have been the right house. There might have been something wrong with that house. So God didn't give you a house right away. That was the house you wanted. But then later on, you might find another house. And God might say, yes, that's a good house. That's a good family house for you and your family. I want to give you that house. And you get that house. God does things when it's needed, not when you want it. You have to be willing to wait. You have to know that as you're going along, it don't matter how many obstacles you face. God is always going to make a way. You have to trust in him. I don't care what you're going through right now. I don't care what your circumstances are. I don't care where you come from. I don't care what you've been through. God has your back through thick and thin. No obstacles can ever define who you are. Only you can define who you are. No person, no man, no woman can ever tell you who you're going to be or where you're going to go. Only you know where you're going to go, and only God knows. Never ever allow obstacles to define your future. That's all I'm saying. Know that you are bigger than what you're given credit for. Don't ever allow yourself to lose hope. Hold on to hope, even when it seems like hope can't hold on to you. Give yourself power. Have more faith in yourself. Know that you hold the key to your future. You are the key to your future. Nobody else can tell you where your future is going to go. Only you can determine where you're going to go. But you have to be willing to work hard to get to where you want to be. I'm telling y'all. I'm just being honest with you. You have to be willing to work hard the way you want to be. Because if you don't work hard, here's the thing. You cannot expect nobody to give you nothing. Nothing is given to you for free. You have to be willing to work. We all gotta work towards something. If you want to be a firefighter, you have to study to get there, right? Ain't nobody that's gonna tell you right now when you say, just because you say I want to be a firefighter or I'm trying to be a firefighter and get this job. Ain't nobody that's gonna say, oh, you want the job, it's yours. You know what I'm saying? You wanna be a rapper, you know what I'm saying? But you have to be willing to put in the work to get there. Ain't nobody that's gonna say you got a record deal, here you go, and hand it to you. You have to work hard to get there. You know what I'm saying? If you want a family, it ain't just gonna happen. You ain't gonna just say I want a family. It's gonna fall out of the sky, and you're gonna have a baby overnight. You have to work with your partner to make that happen in some type of way. Everything that you want out of life, you have to work hard for. Nothing is handed to you. You have to know that there will be some obstacles. There are going to be times when it seems like you're not going to get to where you want to be. There are going to be times where it seems like nothing's moving. But you cannot allow yourself to get lost in that. You cannot allow yourself to get stuck right there. You have to be willing to know that you are bigger than the obstacles. You have to figure out a plan. You have to be willing to keep on working. Just because something comes in your way does not mean that you have to stay stuck right there. Just because something tries to stop right there does not mean that you cannot go around it. Do not allow yourself to get pulled into the quicksand. Because like I said, if you allow yourself to get pulled into the quicksand, you get stuck. And when you get stuck, you go through all kind of things. Like I said, you go through depression, sadness, you know what I'm saying? Unhappiness, anger, all kind of different dark emotions. And them dark emotions are controlled by what? The devil. The devil. I know a lot of times y'all see me come on here, y'all be like, oh, conscious, you always talk about the devil, you blame the devil, and because you gotta understand that a lot of the wrong things that we do in life is because of the fact that we get persuaded by demons. We don't always know when we're being persuaded the wrong way. So when I'm sitting here and I'm talking to y'all about the devil like I'm talking to you about him now, I'm trying to tell y'all this for a good reason. Like I said, those emotions are controlled by the devil. And that's the reason why I say that is because the devil, one thing about him, he knows that God has a purpose for you. Like I said, God always has a purpose for you when you come in this world, but the devil does not want you to achieve your purpose. God wants you to, but the devil wants you to stay stuck. Because if you achieve your purpose, the devil knows how great you could be. He don't want you to be able to do things that help God. He don't want you to be able to do things that God wants you to do. He wants you to be stuck so he can use it for his greater power, because that's how he becomes powerful. You can't allow the devil to win. You cannot allow the devil to win. Y'all got to understand. See, I'm going to talk to y'all real quick, right? I'm going to talk to y'all for those of y'all that still know here. I'm going to talk to y'all. Listen, there's a war outside. I'm going to keep telling y'all that too. There's a war outside right now. Every day. You got God and you got the devil. And it's the time when they're going to collide. God is coming back. Oh, he coming back. And you got to understand, like, for real, God, it has his followers. He's every day that we sit in here and we're achieving our purposes and we're achieving our goals and we're doing the things that God wants us to do. We're helping people to gravitate towards God. That's helping to build up his army. As we gravitate towards God, we help others gravitate towards God. We're building ourselves up to be strong. We're building to build God up to be strong. God is coming back. And the devil don't like that. That's why the devil is trying to recruit as many people as he can. He's trying to use us to do bad things because he wants to persuade us to be over there where he's at. You can't allow the devil to win. You can't. So what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, when you go through these obstacles, when you go through these ups and downs, don't allow yourself to get stuck. Don't allow the devil to win. Be bigger than the devil. Know that there's greatness in you. Know who you are. Know where you're going. If you don't know where you're going and you don't know who you are, reach out to God. Ask for help. Trust in him. to set your path, to put out your journey, to help you to gravitate towards where you want to go. Like I said, it didn't matter what I went through in life. I never lost faith in God. I never did. I always kept hoping God. I always trusted in God to get me going. I always trusted in God to get me through. I didn't stay stuck forever. And if it wasn't for God, I probably wouldn't be here right now to talk to y'all. I'd probably be dead, locked up, or who knows where I'd be. I wouldn't be who I am if it wasn't for God. God has done more for me than I can ever pay him back for. But one thing that I do know is I can give thanks to God. I can do what God wants me to do. I can stay focused. I can stay on track. And the only reason why I made it this far and I'm still going in life is because I never let my obstacles define me. I don't allow what I go through to define me. You have to know that in your life, there's a greater purpose. You're destined to do something better. You have to know that you are going to be somebody and that you are going to be more than what somebody gives you credit for. God has the last say so in your life and your situation. Don't ever let an obstacle or a small situation push you back and hold you back. Ask God to give you power to fight back. You are better than what somebody say you are. I don't care what somebody told you. I don't care what you saw. I don't care what path you thought was written for you. Your path ain't finished until God says it's finished. I don't care what you're going through. God will help you to go overcome that. But you have to be willing to trust in him. Don't get the devil power to hold you down, because that's what the devil going to do. He going to try to drain you. He going to try to pull you back. He going to keep on trying to stop you from achieving whatever it is that you're trying to achieve in life, because he know if you achieve what you want to achieve in life and you achieve what God put you here to do, then you're just serving out his purpose and you're helping to God to build up his army. Because like I said, in the Bible, it says if you're going to serve out a purpose, to do something that is bigger than yourself to help others. So as you gravitate others towards God, you're building up his army, and the devil don't like that. He wants to use you for his own evil deeds so that he can have more power, so that he can be stronger. Don't give the devil the power. Don't use your gift for the wrong reasons. A lot of people have been blessed in life. You see a lot of people accomplish their goals. They become everything that they work hard to be and wanted to be, but they forgetting one thing. They don't thank God. And they wonder why a lot of people wonder why people get all these riches and they get all these things and they don't get to keep them, because God don't like ugly. You don't thank God for these things that you receive. You don't use your gift to help uplift others and do other things, but you're using it to tear down people, to destroy people. And you wonder why God takes it from you. Or you wonder why you have to live your life in misery. When you close your eyes, you don't want to leave this world, and then you don't want to be stuck and being scared and being like, I don't want to go, I don't want to go there, I don't want to go there. Because you never know. Because if you go to hell, your soul gonna be tormented from the moment that you start fading off. As soon as you start to see where you're headed, it's gonna look like all darkness is gonna swallow your soul. It's gonna be torture. You want to be able to go up there and be with your creator, your healer, be at peace. Know that you could be around people that you love that's gonna care about you. You have to focus on working towards the right things in life and not the wrong things. When you achieve the things that you wanted in life, or you achieve the things that God gave you, you have to always give thanks to God. And then when you get blessed, make sure that you bless others. Help others. Because when you help others, they're going to help somebody else. And that's how we continue to help to grow God's army. That's how we continue to expand God's word. That's how we continue to uplift and become more powerful as his followers, as Christians. You understand what I'm saying? You got to be willing to serve out a purpose that is greater than yourself. And if obstacles come your way, trust in God to get you around those obstacles. Trust in God to overcome those obstacles, and you will overcome them obstacles. Do not get something and then get lost and doing the wrong things with it. Don't be like most people. You get something and you, like I said, you do the wrong things with it and you don't never get nowhere. You stay stuck in this position, or you stay or you don't or you lose it all. I've seen people so many times get money or get so far in life, And then when they get there, they're so ignorant about it. They're so unhumble. They don't thank God. They don't even try to be positive about the situation. And everything just disappears. Everything that they had, everything that they worked hard for is gone. They don't have nothing. They end up with nothing because they didn't thank God. Or they always felt like when they started to get it, so they felt like they were better than others. They weren't helping others or doing for others. They were just being selfish about everything. And they lost it all. So all I'm saying is you can overcome your obstacles. You can beat the odds. Don't be another statistic. Don't never allow nobody to tell you what you are and what you aren't going to be. I'm conscious. I want to thank y'all for tuning into this live with me. Staying on this live with me for the hour that y'all have. It's getting ready to be an hour now. Today is my wife and I, the chosen one by Ashley, 6-month anniversary of being married. Today, yes, the 18th is our 6-month anniversary of being married. We've been together off and on for 9 years, married for 6 months. We're gonna make it to a year, and we're gonna make it to 20 years. And we can do all things through God. Thank you. Amen. So if y'all can, make sure that when y'all get off this live, y'all go on to her community post and y'all tell my wife, happy anniversary. I know it's not a year yet, but 6 months is a huge accomplishment. It's something to celebrate because it's not easy to make it to 6 months. It's not easy to go years, so that's something to celebrate. We love y'all. Make sure y'all go back and y'all like this post. Make sure y'all go back and y'all like this live. Make sure if you're not subscribed to her channel, you just now tuning in, you subscribe to her channel. She got more live videos she do. She got shorts, YouTube shorts. She also got regular posts that she put up. Make sure that y'all stay tuned in. Also, make sure that you subscribe to all. When you click on that subscribe button, make sure you click all so that you can see every time that she's posting or going live. We appreciate everybody who's been rocking out with us for the beginning. I appreciate all y'all that was in this live that got to hear me talk. It's been a long time since I've been on here with y'all, but the fact that y'all stay tuned into me today, it just shows me that y'all still love me, and I appreciate y'all. Y'all take care. I'm being ready to go with my wife, and we about to enjoy the rest of our day and continue to enjoy this 6-month anniversary of ours. I just wanted to tune in with y'all and talk to y'all. Y'all take care. Y'all stay blessed.